ride it like a rental, it's just a rental. I'm not with all the sentimentals, just keep it simple. You want to know what I'm into, so you can get into it.
We back. Welcome. The Bench Buddies are back with
What's
another
up?
video. Today we will be talking about the divisional races on both sides of baseball and the wild card. We'll be wrapping it up with the wild card and who we think will make the playoffs as of today. I'll just dive right into it. The AL East. Wow. I mean, you got Tampa. I mean, they're 4 games ahead of Boston, six games ahead of the Yankees, and 7.5 against Toronto, and then Baltimore. I mean, we don't need to talk about Baltimore, but
No. They got some prospects though. Respect them a little bit.
For
they
sure.
got some prospects.
Few years. Give them a few years.
Yep.
But really,
Cedric Mullins.
Mullins really carrying that team. I
Great
feel he's all 38 wins. But so let's just dive right into these guys. I mean, you got Tampa, Boston, the Yankees, and Toronto. I'll just ask you, who do you think's winning that division?
All right, so up and down roster. The roster's up and down. I'm gonna go with the Rays. I think the Rays are gonna win the division, but I like the way the Red Sox are playing ball. I mean, they're not. What are they, like 2-8? Yep, 2-8 in their last 10. They're not really playing great right now, but I know that they'll figure it out, and I think they're gonna make a wild card push. But I want to talk about the Blue Jays. I'm a big fan of the Blue Jays. A big fan of that Barrios acquire of Jose Barrios, man. I'm a big fan.
You didn't know what to say there, did you?
No.
Oh, that's awkward. We're keeping that. That's funny.
but either way, I like the Blue Jays. I like the Yankees, what they did at the deadline too. But I got the Rays winning that division.
Mm-hmm.
So what do you think?
You know, I think it's really down to Boston or Tampa. You know, the Yankees, obviously, they made some big moves. But I just don't think it's going to work out for them just because, I mean, obviously they can make those moves because they have all the money in the world, so it doesn't matter to them. But, you know, I think having too much talent on the team, they all invested in a power only. I know their ballpark is small, but
they just don't feel like that team that's coming out of the East to me.
I just don't feel like the Yankees have it. I mean, their pitching they have Cole, and then after that, Italian's been pretty good, but I don't really see them going far if let's say they did make the playoffs. I mean, they need a third, and they don't have that right now.
I mean, Garrett Cole's coming back. I think I like them as a team, but I like the Rays and the Red Sox and the Blue Jays, to be quite frank with you.
Mm-hmm.
I like the Blue Jays more than the Yankees right now.
So you have Tampa winning the division?
Yep, I got the Rays.
I think I'm gonna take Boston, and I think they'll get it within the last week. They'll win the division. It'll be a tight race, I think, till the end of the year.
Isn't that kind of crazy? This is kind of like the NFC West if you're going to compare it to football.
Mm-hmm.
This division is really interesting.
Everyone has a shot, pretty much.
Yeah, except for the Orioles. But
all right, so I'll let you take on your division leading Chicago White Sox.
We're gonna this will be a short one. AL Central, nothing much to it. Cleveland's the closest team back at 10.5 games. I mean, the Sox have been playing decent baseball this last week. I mean, not great, but I mean, they're obviously going to win the division.
Mm-hmm.
I like it. I like Detroit. I don't know why Cleveland sold exactly when they're around 500 every year, but whatever. That's a different time. But
Lindor.
Yeah.
They just didn't want Lindor, I guess. Ever since then, they just kind of not been that team. But I mean, shout out my boys, Detroit. You know, we're around 500 for the first time and it feels like ever. Lots of upside there, but yeah, I mean, it's pretty obvious the White Sox, they're going to win this division unless they just have a total collapse. I don't see that happening, but I mean, it's baseball. Anything can happen.
Exactly. AL West. You want to get this started? This is a good division.
Yeah. So you got Houston winning it right now. They're ahead of Oakland by 2 games, and then Seattle, they're 7.5 back. LA, the Angels are 9.5 back, and then Texas is just they're probably already eliminated mathematically almost.
Yikes.
But I don't know. Houston has been a quiet team. They're almost around 600 winning percentage.
20 games over 500.
They're pretty quiet this year. I mean, they don't really have like a solidified ace. I guess the rookie Luis Garcia, he's doing pretty good this year, helping that rotation. But they've just been having guys just perform a little above expectations, and obviously it's boosted them to a 20 games above 500 and a 2-game division lead on Oakland. But
Yep.
slow your roll on Houston running away with this one because Oakland made a huge dang, I can't even say it now. Huge
accusation.
Yeah, Houston made a huge trade. We'll just go with that one.
There you
Huge trade to get Marte, and I think that's
awesome.
really going to pay off, especially now with what is it, Laureano, right? He got
He just
suspended
got
pretty much for the rest of the
PEDs.
year. So getting Marte pretty much is a plug and play that losing Laureano and boom, Marte's there to fill that void in the lineup. So that'll be very beneficial, I think, for them going down the road. And then Seattle, I mean,
They're not going
who
away.
knows?
They're playing good baseball.
They're
I like the Mariners.
they got a shot. They just need to kind of start putting it together because they're good at home. They're 10 games about 500 at home. But you know, on the road, they're 5 games under 500. You need to be at least, I guess, 500 or better on the road to really have a shot. Then you got the Angels. They're 1 game above 500. But with Trout being hurt and just not a lot of this division being super competitive, I don't really see them doing anything here.
Yeah. So you got who do you think's going to win this division then? By the end of the year, when it comes to September, who do you got at the end?
You know, I just think Houston, with all that experience still on the roster, I think they're going to get it done.
Yep.
But don't count out Oakland just because they're 2 games back right now. They're pitching and hitting. They're always great contact hitters. So you never know. Things can happen there. But I would lock in Houston if we were betting on it right now.
The season were to end today, but I'm looking like too. So you wish you want to go get into the wild card because the wild card could be really interesting. There's a big fight between the Mariners or the Athletics, the Mariners, and then basically the whole AL East with the Red Sox, Yankees, and Blue Jays. So, I mean, I'll go ahead and my predictions for the wild card will be the Red Sox will be the first wild card team, and they'll be going up against the Blue Jays as the second wild card team.
Okay.
I could see one of those, game 163 type things though, because that's how crazy this division has been, and I think will continue to be. But I mean, at the end, I'm not going to predict that, so I'm just going to say Blue Jays and Red Sox in the wild card.
I think I am just gonna leave it as it is. But I would plug Tampa in for Boston. But I still think Tampa will have a better record than Oakland at the end of the year. So I think Tampa gets that home game.
Oakland?
Yeah, I think Oakland will be that second wild card team. But I think Tampa will I think they'll get it, and then I think they'll advance and beat Oakland. But it should be a good game regardless. I mean, the AL wild card game is always a good game.
Of course, yeah.
But I guess let's move on to the NL now, and we'll start with the NL East and probably the most. I don't know. It's competitive because none of the teams are want to win, I would say.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. It's crazy, and with the Phillies going on an 8-game win streak, I feel like a lot of teams are picking them, and I'm a part of it. A lot of guys, ESPN, a lot of guys are picking the Phillies, and I'm picking the Phillies as well. I think they got Kyle Gibson's a big guy. That's a good.
That was a
piece in their
great
rotation.
move. Speaking on Gibson, I think that's probably going to be the best move of the deadline, in my opinion.
It's a good one. Marte might be up there too. I mean, is up there absolutely, but yeah, Kyle Gibson really helps out the rotation. Really fills it out. I mean, obviously, every 5th day they still got an opener.
Right.
They got the bullpen pitching, but I mean, that's a good pickup. So I got the Phillies win that division, but Braves are up there. They're playing good baseball.
Yeah, speaking of the Braves, without Acuna, that team kind of just started slowly falling off. But I mean, they're on the last 10, they're 7-3, so you can't really count them out. I mean, they have good pieces around Acuna, but without Acuna, I just can't see them making a late surge,
Yeah.
But yeah, you want to talk about the Mets and how disastrous that season's been so far, up and down?
Can they score a run or no? Like,
No, I mean,
geez, man.
when you trade for Baez, that's just guaranteed 4 strikeouts a game.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, cool. They got Lindor and Baez. I guess we'll see what happens when Lindor comes back, but I don't know. I don't like them. I'm not a fan of the Mets. I think it'll be a 2-team race when it comes down to it.
I mean, and then
Philadelphia,
obviously
Phillies and
you have
Braves.
Washington and Miami finishing out the division, but I mean they're too far back. Washington sold pretty much everyone and probably
Washington
fans. They
was in the
probably traded
position, and
fans too.
I don't think, yeah, especially with Turner and Scherzer, they probably packaged
Yeah.
into the Dodgers or something. But I don't know. Yeah, I liked Washington. I don't know. I don't really
Yeah,
agree
I
with
liked
their
Washington at the
decision.
beginning of the year. I'd be like, ooh, Washington and Atlanta. Like I thought this would be the most competitive division at the beginning of the year.
It's crazy. This
I
division's
mean, it still
crazy.
probably is because they all aren't performing to what we all thought they could be.
Yeah.
But I think I'm with you, and I think I'm gonna take Philly just because they got hot now, and obviously, if you're hot late, that carries over to postseason and anything happened
See
there.
what
But
that's what the Nationals did too last
but
couple years
one
ago.
thing to point out is Atlanta. Their run differential is plus 65, and they're only 2 games over 500.
A
So
lot of
obviously,
blowouts.
a lot of blowouts. They can score, so you can't really count them out because
Nope.
they've scored 540 runs this year, and the rotation's been iffy for them. But if they're on, they could really be anything. And I think that'll be another late deciding race. But I think Philly will take it at the end.
All right, let's move on to the Central. Who do you? It's really just a two-team race right now, kind of more of a
hmm
one-team race. But if you
hmm
believe in the Reds, they're playing good baseball. What do you think about that?
I'm also a Cubs fan as well, so that was kind of devastating talking about the Central, trading everyone away. But I'm liking the Reds. They're a good hitting team. They just have
No
guys that
bullpen.
get hot for 2 weeks, like Votto, insane month of July, and then now I haven't heard one thing about him. I don't know what he's doing. I like the Reds if they just can all put it together at the right time, and they all do it as a
I
team. I think they
really,
could make a run.
yeah.
But Milwaukee, they just, I guess that Adames trade really, really set them apart from anyone in this division. What do you think about that?
I'm. I think the Brewers have the division. I'm just like you, kind of in the same boat with the Reds. I think they'll make it interesting, especially because they have games coming up. It's going to be interesting. They're only 6 back,
hmm
but they got to take those games, and their bullpen has just been really shaky. So it's hard to pick a team in the postseason with a bad bullpen. So I'm gonna go
hmm
Brewers.
All right, and
Go
then I
Brewers.
will let you
Eastern.
talk about the NL West here as we wrap it
All
up
right.
for divisional.
So the Dodgers are 4 games back, which I didn't realize they were 4 games. Obviously, that's not that much,
hmm
but I think I'm going to take the Dodgers to win this division at the end of the year. I'm not hating on the Giants, though, guys. Just relax. I'm not hating on the Giants. I'm just saying, look what the Dodgers just did, and tell me that they're not the best team in the West. I don't think you're right if you're
hmm
saying that. So obviously, I like the Giants. I think they'll finish in second. It'll be close. Come down to maybe the final week,
hmm
and I like the Padres too. I think the Padres are obviously this is the best division in baseball. It's not even close. It's
hmm
crazy.
For sure.
I think.
Um,
Um,
sorry,
let's
finish.
see what. No, you go ahead. I
All
want to
right.
hear what you have to say.
You can't count out Slam Diego. I'm a big Slam Diego following. Got to see
Pimp
him
the
in
chain.
Miami. Yeah, gotta get out that chain, that Slam Diego chain. But Tatis being out he's been out probably what? I mean, he's been out 2 weeks now, and he was out 2 weeks earlier in the season. So that's a month of baseball he's missed. And there's 7 games back. So I think if he gets healthy, they can make a late run as well. I
Yep.
mean, with Snell throwing, what was it, 13 Ks the other day, him finally showing a dominant
He's going
performance for
crazy.
once.
Yep.
Um, but I mean, how can you just hate on the Giants this year? Like they're the surprise team. I mean, in the division that was like, oh, Dodgers and Padres. No one talked about the Giants, and here they are winning the division by 4.
Yep. Yep.
So I think I'm gonna keep with that. I'm gonna keep with it and be like, I think the Giants. I mean, they're 30 games above
They
500
just
right
keep
now.
winning. They just keep winning.
They
It's
just keep
crazy.
winning. So I can just see them winning, and I think it still will come down to the last week, but I think the Giants can do it.
All right.
So let's just hop right in the wild
I
card
like
here
that.
too. So you got right now you have the Giants currently leading, then you have Milwaukee leading their division and Philly leading theirs. So you have the Dodgers and San Diego as the 2 slots right now. What do you think about that?
So I'm gonna say that it's gonna stay that way, except for the
Mhm.
Dodgers are gonna win the division, and the Giants will slide into the first wild card, and they'll play the Padres. I don't. I think I'll be surprised if any of these teams have less than 90 wins this year.
Mm.
I'm Dodgers will probably be up 96, 97.
Mhm.
Who knows? It's hard to say right now.
Mhm. I mean, San Francisco's only 19 away, and they got a month and a
Exactly.
half of baseball, and Dodgers are only, let's see, what are they, 23 away, and San Diego's 25 away. So lots of baseball still to be played. But yeah, I'm with you. I mean, obviously, I have San Francisco winning the division, so I think it'll stay the same. I think the Dodgers will get that home game, but I don't know, something about San Diego and always being electric. If they can somehow get that home game, I think they'll win it because it's insane there in San Diego this year. Um,
Yeah.
so I think whoever gets that home game for the wild card is going to win that game and move on to
Good
face the
take.
best team.
I like that take. It's a good one. So with that, I think we're gonna wrap it up here, aren't we?
Yeah, I think that's it for today. So for our next podcast, we'll be talking about rankings. We'll rank all 30 teams here on this channel, and let's see. We'll talk about, is Bryce Harper real? Is he the guy he's supposed to be right now, or is he just playing good baseball for these last few weeks, last month? And then we will also be getting in a weekly game, um, just like games of the week, few games to watch. What for this week?
Let us know what you want us to recap. We'll recap
Yeah,
whatever.
for sure. For sure. And lastly, as the NFL season approaches, we will be starting to talk about that. Probably late August, early September, right before the week gets started. And
Yeah.
we'll be making
That's
some
gonna be a busy
predictions on
time.
teams, and this channel will be popping, that's for sure. I mean, we might
I
not
hope
have a
everyone's
big
here with
following
us.
right now, but hopefully by the end of football season, maybe 100 subscribers. That's the goal.
Go Steelers, baby. Go Steelers.
Oh, go Pack, go. But thanks for watching our video today. This is Bench Buddies, and we'll see y'all later.
Thanks, everybody.